7:34, a power struggle in City Hall. Mayor Eric Adams looking to create a charter revision commission just days after the city council proposed a plan to exert more power over mayoral appointments, which would require changes to the charter.
Yeah, this is all a little inside baseball for you at home, but this comes as the city council winds down public hearings on the mayor's executive budget and looks to restore millions of dollars worth of cuts that would impact you and city services. So we're joined by the chair of the finance committee, Councilman Justin Brannan, who oversees the hearings and can give us some insight on what we can expect going into these negotiations. Councilman, good to see you.
Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
So before we get into the budget dance and the numbers, I want to get your take right now and the reaction to this announcement that came last night for this charter revision commission. And for those at home who don't understand what that is, can you first explain what that looks like?
Sure. So the charter of the city of New York is basically the rules of the city.
Right.
The only way to change those rules is for there to be a commission that then puts that on a ballot for New Yorkers to vote for these changes. Look, I hear New Yorkers talking about a lot of things. I haven't heard a lot of people clamoring for a charter revision commission right now. I'm interested to see what the mayor wants to put on this commission, on the ballot, but the timing is a little interesting.
And talk about the timing for a second, because this would impact a proposal that the city council put forth that would require Mayor Eric Adams to seek the council to approve appointments that he would make, because right now he can just appoint somebody and they could take the position. They don't need city council approval depending on the position. So this would change that according to the charter. So it seems like a little tit for tat.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, I'd hope it wasn't that cynical, but the timing is certainly interesting. You know, what the council wants, and this is something the council's wanted for a long time. The state and federal level, elected officials have a say over who gets appointed to run these different agencies. In the council, we only have that right now for a couple of spots. We don't have that for all the commissioners, and that's something that many speakers have wanted to do, and that Speaker Adams cares about very much. So this is something we've been talking about. It's a bill that we're going to introduce tomorrow. So the timing, the only way to block that basically is for the mayor to then suddenly announce a charter revision commission, which is what happened yesterday. So the timing is a little suspect.
Okay.
I think New Yorkers weren't clamoring for it because they didn't know that it was a possibility to approve the appointees that Mayor Adams has. So I think now that they know it's on the table, they'd say, yeah, wouldn't that make sense?
Sure, but I think what's going to happen is basically the mayor is proposing a commission to block what the council wants to do. The council is, look, on paper, the council is a co-equal branch of government, but we have to fight every day to make that a reality. You know, and the rules of the charter are what bind that.
Okay, so we'll to be continued on that front. We'll see how that plays, because it is going forward. That the charter commission's happening, but whether or not it'll block the council is to be determined.
We're all going forward.
Right.
He's doing his commission. We're doing our bill,
thing.
and yeah.
So let's talk about the other thing right now before we get to the budget, and that's the NYPD's response to these pro-Palestinian protesters that were in your district in Bay Ridge, right? The video was put out there. You said it was a little heavy-handed by the NYPD. The mayor comes out and says, well, Justin Brannan must not have been watching the same video. What do you make of that?
You know, look, Justin Brannan is not a politician who gratuitously criticizes or attacks the cops. Far from it, right? I've often acknowledged the extraordinary courage it takes to be a New York City cop. However, what I saw last weekend, the response from the police was over the top, right? Look, I represent one of the largest Palestinian communities in the country in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Every year for the past 10 years, we've had a demonstration for Nakba Day. There's been some years where there have been thousands of people. This year it was decidedly smaller, a couple hundred people. But the police response was disproportionately aggressive. And I didn't see anything in those videos that warranted the aggressive response that we saw. So I was happy to hear that the mayor is going to look into a couple of those incidents where we thought police were being aggressive. You know, I mean, look, I think it's important to say you could be pro-cop but be anti-police brutality, and that's ultimately what this is about.
Okay.
All right, on to the budget now.
Sure.
These new projections, they're mind-blowing to me. Where do you come up with $1 billion extra on top of the $3 billion that New York City
in the
already
couch
has?
cushions? You just got to really dig.
Right.
Look, New York City's economy has proven to be durable and resilient, and against all odds, we're beating even the most, even the most optimistic projections. Even as the rest of the state kind of sputters, this New York City economy is strong. The money is there. The council has identified over $1 billion after we put away money for a rainy day, after we allocate money for under budgeted costs. There's over $1 billion there that we can use to put back and restore these cuts to our libraries, to early childhood education, to sanitation, to our parks, to CUNY. There's plenty of money there.
Does the mayor agree? Does the mayor say, okay, yeah, we hear you that $1 billion is there?
Not yet. By the end of the month, we hope he will.
So what did you get out of the hearings? We had a bunch of hearings. All the different agencies put forth their case for why their budgets need to be what they are, right? Libraries are a big one. You're hoping to be restored. What did you get out of those hearings?
The main thing is that some of these agencies are still downright skeletal on the staff level. Agencies need to hire up in order to provide these services, and agencies need more money. Whether the commissioners are willing to admit it or not, they need more money, and the money is there to fund these agencies.
So what is next then, right? Because the negotiation happens. So take me into the room where it happens. I know there are top secret talks here, but what happens in those rooms to get the funding back in the dance that happens?
Well, I think, look, Dan, it's a great question. I think basically what the council's been saying is that we have, in order to have a real serious negotiation, we have to at least be agreeing on how much money is there. So when we sit down at the table, we have to all be operating on the same set of facts. And the council just put out a new forecast that again shows what everyone else has been showing, except for the mayor's side, that the money is there. So we sit down and say, look, here's where the money is. The resources are available. We know, we're all looking at, it's not like we're looking at different sets of numbers, right? We're looking at the same tax receipts that the mayor's people are. So we have to make our case to say, look, the money is there to restore these cuts. And these are cuts that are these are programs that are popular with New Yorkers. If the mayor came out and restored our libraries, our arts, our cultural, early childhood, our parks, CUNY, he'd be a hero. So let's get it done.
As quick as you can answer, as a tax-paying constituent, I'm confused on why the numbers are so different. How do you not know that there's $1 billion extra dollars?
They know
it's not a few pennies.
They know it's there, but it's a chess game. So they're going to act like it's not there until they can't anymore.
Okay.
Politics in New York, never a dull moment.
Never
right?
a dull moment,
I mean,
my
chess
friend.
is usually a dull game, but this is not a dull game.
No.
Councilman Brannan, great to have you here this morning.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Keep us posted on the budget,
Will
all right?
do.